Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest beat coming through, jumping knowledge on all of you. Get a peek at the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay solid just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll. Well, we'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can't see us. Like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dough. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope. While you at it, we keep it live, it's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of A Business Minute. I'm Sir. Y'all know who I am. And today I'm joined by, you know what? I'm not even going to introduce you. I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, I am Lendrick Holmes, a.k.a. Passionate Poet of Black on Black Rhyme.
Hey, shout out. Step to the mic.
Mic check.
Hey.
Well, we do a lot of poetry here in Mobile, one of the poetry troops here in Mobile. And I don't know, there's been a lot of stuff going on in my life. I'm still figuring out who I am. December 11th of this year marks the first year I've ever been sickle cell free. So
happy anniversary, bro.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'm 1 year old cellularly.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So it's like this whole year has been like crazy and trying to figure out who I am and reforging my path because I couldn't have an identity necessarily. Well, you could have an identity, but it wasn't really what my ambition had. It didn't satisfy me living with sickle cell because I was always in a hospital fighting. A lot of my time was dealing with fighting that disease and trying to be normal. Trying to be normal, but I couldn't be. Now I got to be normal for a year, so I don't know what to introduce myself as.
Hey, you did a good job just then.
Yeah, I'm going to be a future therapist.
Hey, yeah, you know.
A future therapist. But other than that, right now, I guess I'm just here as a poet and a fellow intellectual.
Hey, I enjoy those. Now, giving a little backstory. When I met Lendrick, I'm going to go back and tell the story how we met up at the church. So there was a poetry event that I was popping up at. I had seen online that was held in Daphne by Queen the Poet. And I was like, let me just pull up. I'm not going to tell anybody I'm coming because, you know, a few of my podcast mates were there and they were going to be performing. And I hadn't seen them in about 2 months. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Daphne. I'm going to go. So first off, my GPS lied to me, sent me everywhere but where I was supposed to go. So I finally get there and I pull up. And I see this red vehicle pull up beside me. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I guess they come to the same event. And then this gentleman jumps out. We're both walking to the door. And we just started talking. That was you and I. Mm-hmm. And you were telling me, I was like, hey, man, how's it going? And you was like, man, long day. And I was like, let's talk about it. You know, we literally sat out there. I don't know how long we were out there.
Yeah, I don't either.
We was out there for a minute just talking life. And just everything about it. And I knew who you were, but I just didn't say I knew who you were because I seen you on the news. Of course, I follow Black on Black Rhyme. And I was like, man, this is really dope. I got to get him for a Business Minute interview. And we later went in, had a good time. That poetry event was hilarious.
It was so funny.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Woo.
We'll talk about it after the end credits, but yeah, man, I enjoyed hearing your piece speak. That was my first time hearing you spit, actually. Mm-hmm. And the piece you shared was about the physical pain, and talking about the line you walk between life and death. Mm-hmm. And at the end, you came out a superhero. Yeah. And another thing I liked is that while we were talking, there was another gentleman you were acquainted with that I had never met, and he was having a real rough time. Mm-hmm. And it was funny. You and I were talking, and I was having a good day. You were having a tiresome day. Yeah. But from the way he was telling his day, he was just...
over it.
Right. He was done. He was out of it. And I like to say that we kind of spoke life into them, like just let them know, like that pat on the back that we were talking about just now with therapy, that sometimes you just need a black man to come to you, hey bro, you're gonna be fine. Yeah. We've been there, you know. Yeah. You're gonna make it. And after you did your piece, you pointed at him, and he just nodded, you know, and it choked me up in the back. I was like, whew, man, felt that. To see a black man help a black man emotionally, you know, we all about bravado. You know, I could physically help you move. Yeah, you know, if you about to move to a new apartment, all right, Jeremy, come help me move. All right, let's pick up the couch. Let's get it. It's easy. Yeah. But when somebody's hurting on the inside, and to be able to, I guess, give them that reassurance that's going to be okay, like to pat them on the back, to be there to help them emotionally carry that load, was everything. Like, yeah, it was beautiful, man. We talk about black love between a man and a woman being beautiful, but to see a black man be support to another black man and tell him he can make it is something that I think we don't shine a light on enough. So I want to give you your flowers on that, because that was amazing, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
You gonna need a whole lot of flowers. You hear me,
man? Because
that's my thing, man. I was raised by a lot of strong black women. Mm-hmm. Crazy, but strong. Crazy black women, you know, but very, very strong. And in that, it's like emotions were a muscle. It wasn't a weakness. I mean, because it's easier to be dismissive than it is to address an issue. And then once you address the issue, it's easier to explode than to accept that you can't change it. So through practice, of course, because you don't just learn this overnight.
No, you don't.
I gradually just learned, like, the loophole. One of the biggest loopholes we have in humanity is with our emotional intelligence. So wherever I see, and that wasn't the first, won't be the last, you know, wherever I see anyone in need, especially a black man in need of emotional support, I don't know why, but it's like, I really feel like it's a gift, because I don't always, you know, I don't have like a set of things and stanzas that I just got saved up written to spit to anyone, but it's just in my heart to be vulnerable. And I weaponize myself with vulnerability because I know how strong I am. You know what I mean? When you lay yourself bare, when you lay yourself bare, whatever the enemy throws, whatever darts, whatever bullets they shoot or what have you, and you feel that pain, that's one thing you're gonna say to yourself. That's all. That's all. And once you get to that point, like, that's all I'm gonna feel. That's worse it can get. Then it's not that big of a deal no more, and it's easy to let go. But I'm with you there. Like, we don't see black men emotionally support each other a lot. We do see a whole lot more bravado, and that's our way of emotionally supporting each other, is by doing it. And I don't know what is just, you know, what they say, toxic masculinity or homophobia or whatever. Maybe it's a cultural thing, what have you. But I feel like if we were more comfortable or more confident in how we feel, I feel like we would do it. But because we're not comfortable with how we feel, we just don't. So I don't think the desire, I think the desire is there for black men to be there for each other and just available to the world. You know what I mean? The desire is there, but it's just scary. And fortunately for me, I face a number of trials.
Right.
And so me facing my emotion as it's not an easy thing, you know what I mean? But it's all I had to do. You know what I mean? That's all I had. That was hardly anyone there to argue with. You know what I mean? And I think everyone has that. There's hardly anyone there to argue with when you make a mistake, when something happens to you. So you have to infer within yourself where to go next. And if you can't find direction within yourself, that often can lead to suicide. It can lead to just self-deprecation and a whole host of issues. But yeah, I feel you there. I got saying a whole bunch to say that's what I want my life source to be. not necessarily specifically just for black men, but just for people. Like, I feel like we need emotional intelligence here, just to be mindful that everyone else they're created just as intricately and delicately and valuably as you. Or, you know what I mean? So that's important. But yeah.
I think that goes back to your previous point about the respect being the currency for that communication, because a lot of times, unfortunately, and this is probably a generational thing, that respect piece between male and female, and even male and male, an aspect of emotional intelligence isn't there because it's not encouraged. There's often, we shy away from it because it feels awkward. I'll be transparent here. I suck at verbalizing how I feel.
Yeah.
Which is why I attach to poetry so well. Being able to write down and craft something beautiful out of something horrible is wonderful. It's my own form of art. And so being able to understand, I think that I don't do well verbalizing. So give me a moment, let me write it. I can make it make sense and then present it is my own way of developing my own social and emotional intelligence as far as communicating it, because it's too easy to be dismissive and be like, well, I don't communicate well, and just sit there with your hands crossed. Okay, what you doing about it? Are you trying other ways? You know? And I found that in art as well, which is why you see a bunch of these paintings around here.
I love it.
You're right, man. Look, I love doing something with my hands.
Yeah.
It's taking something.
Hold on, wait, so you did all these yourself?
Yeah, except the Iron Man in the back, man. That's not me. I wish. That's what I'm trying to get, but everything else, yeah, that's me.
That's pretty dope.
Thanks, man. After did the Watchmen one over there. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah, I did see that one.
That was a lot of people didn't catch on, but when people walk in, they're like, aha, a lot of people know who that is.
We was already talking about it, so
right.
So when I saw it, I was like, yep, makes sense.
Right. We're gonna watch that today and see what she think about it.
Oh, you talking about the series?
No, not the series yet. We're gonna watch the movie first.
Okay, she haven't seen the movie.
So we're gonna watch the movie and then we're gonna watch the series, so she can, see how it plays out. But yeah, I take pride in being able to take my baby steps, and it's like a journey, just like we was talking about earlier. It's like
it is.
For the longest, I've been emotionally 8 years old, and I'm 32 now. And I realized that in order to convey how I feel and to get further with the relationships with people, I need to be able to communicate emotionally like an adult. So I say I'm no longer at 8. I'm probably 12, 14. You know what I'm saying? I'm progressing.
Okay, so I know what your next stage is then. If you emotionally 12, you got to get past awkwardness.
Oh!
Bruh. You got to get past awkwardness.
Bruh.
Bro, I'm saying, and you know what? A lot of people are emotionally 12. Me and my brother, we joke about this. Me and Ladarius, we joke about this all the time. We call ourselves LKs, lame kings. Yo, people called us lame so much in high school. We said, okay, well, we gonna be the kings of it. And so we call ourselves lame kings, and we like relish in awkwardness. See, sometimes when you a lot of people don't really just think about this or got this perspective, but emotions, there's no right or wrong to emotion. There is no up or down. There is no direction, really. It just is what it is. And sometimes a lot of times, it's not going to be compatible to your environment. There's never going to be a context for you to be able to say what you feel. There's never going to be a context for you to be able to communicate where you are right now. So you got to make it awkward. It has to be awkward. You just got to get it out there, and you might fall on your face. It may be a little. People might look at you a little bit different. They'll get over it. Because they don't see or remember that experience the way that you will. You gonna be the only one that's gonna be beating yourself up like that. Everybody else gonna be like, dude's kind of weird, but he cool. And you know what I mean? So it's okay if things are awkward. It's okay if things are weird for a moment, because those are moments for a reason. They don't last. And then as you emotionally mature, then you'll just realize it's just like a pattern. You get used to it after a while. You get comfortable with it. You get a little stylish with it. I'm stylish with my awkwardness. I'm stylish. My wife don't like it. Like, I would say something that's completely inappropriate on purpose, boldly and proudly, to observe and look at people's reaction, because I just like watching people squirm. You know what I'm saying? Because people's egos are bigger than reality. You know what I mean?
It's true.
That ego be huge in the mud. You know how that saying goes, well, your eyes are bigger than your stomach?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Your stomach is only so large. Your eyes can take in a whole lot more. Your ego is the same way. Your ego was like, the whole world was made for me. And look, you a little speck.
Right.
You a little
Good
speck.
Damn good point.
You are less than a speck, actually, in the grand scheme of things, because you can't even see your own from a galactic. Like what? That's humans. What does a human look like? You got to get a microscope to see us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So your ego can get bigger than reality, and it just puts you in a ditch. So in order to get you out of that ditch, you just got to get dirty and get ugly and get funky, and then eventually you'll get used to it, and then you'll wash yourself off and put yourself back out there again. It's
crazy. It's funny you brought that up